49ers, Dre Greenlaw, Eagles security head ejected after scuffle. Philadelphia. After a sideline fracas about 5.5 minutes into the third quarter, the San Francisco 49ers lost linebacker Dre Greenlaw to an ejection. DiSandro, the Philadelphia Eagles head of security, was also tossed. It was the type of trade-off the Eagles clearly got the better of, but also left the 49ers and coach Kyle Shanahan seething on the sideline. "That's why I tried my hardest not to lose my mind and not embarrass myself too bad," Shanahan said after his team's 42-19 victory. With 9:27 left in the third quarter, Greenlaw tackled Eagles receiver DeVonta Smith near the Philadelphia sideline after a 13-yard completion. Greenlaw lifted Smith off his feet and slammed him to the ground, which drew a penalty flag for unnecessary roughness. As Greenlaw and Smith stood up, Eagles staff and players rushed over and began yelling back and forth with Greenlaw and some of his teammates. DiSandro stepped toward Greenlaw, who extended his arm as he yelled at DiSandro. Greenlaw's hand appeared to come in contact with DiSandro's face as he pointed at him, which drew the disqualification. "I didn't get to see it all from where I'm at," Shanahan said. "I didn't get to see it all from where I'm at." Before Greenlaw was ejected, the officials had a lengthy discussion with Eagles coach Nick Sirianni pleading his case for an ejection as linebacker Fred Warner walked with Greenlaw back to San Francisco's sideline. As Warner and Greenlaw walked, Warner said he saw the Eagles sideline waving goodbye to him as Greenlaw explained his side of what happened. "It was such a big loss in that moment to lose him," Warner said. "It was such a big loss in that moment to lose him." Once the decision was made, Shanahan was visibly angry, coming on the field and screaming at the officials. Soon after, Greenlaw sprinted to the locker room to a chorus of boos from Eagles fans. DiSandro was also removed from the game but received a hearty ovation from Philadelphia fans on his way out. According to a pool report with Walt Anderson, the NFL's senior vice president of officiating, there was a review from New York of what happened during what is known as continuing action. That review showed that DiSandro was continuing action of the argument. While the rules do not allow for a retroactive flag to be thrown on DiSandro for his participation, it does allow for an ejection for it. Greenlaw's ejection was for contacting a non-player. "That should never be in question one of their guys interacting with the player on the sideline," Warner said. "That should never be in question one of their guys interacting with the player on the sideline." DiSandro has been with the Eagles since 1999 and also works as a senior advisor to general manager Howie Roseman. After the game, he was in the tunnel greeting Eagles players as they walked to the locker room following the loss. "I saw Dom get booted, that kind of pissed me off to be honest," Eagles tackle Jordan Mailata said. "I saw Dom get booted, that kind of pissed me off to be honest." Greenlaw was leading San Francisco in tackles with 7 at the time of his ejection. The Eagles scored on a 1-yard touchdown run from quarterback Jalen Hurts 5 plays later to trim the Niners' lead to 21-13. Veteran Oren Burks stepped in for Greenlaw and finished with 4 tackles. After Hurts' touchdown, the Niners outscored Philadelphia 21-6 to close the game. "I loved how we rallied after it," Shanahan said. Greenlaw has a history of drawing unnecessary roughness penalties, as he's had 2 others this season and has 5 in his regular season career. Greenlaw also drew an unnecessary roughness penalty and a face mask infraction against the Eagles in January's NFC Championship game for a hit on running back Kenneth Gainwell and for grabbing running back Boston Scott's face mask, respectively. Still, the Niners view Greenlaw as a tone-setter for the defense and don't want him to change his aggressive approach, only temper it. "Dre has been really the enforcer for this defense since we got here in 19, and Nick Bosa said. "Dre has been really the enforcer for this defense since we got here in 19. Thanks for watching NY Sports News. Stay tuned for more updates.